Hello and welcome to a series I'm going to call Cleaning Up Your Purchasing Approvals Screen. I recently had a question on one of my videos in regards to trying to clean up this screen, especially with products that are on your purchasing approvals screen on a closed invoice. So we're going to do a series on how to start tackling all of those products. Lucky you for having to do this. So if we go into procurement and purchasing approvals, you'll see everything there that needs to be approved for purchasing. I like to be able to see what has already been invoiced on this screen, and I do so by bringing in this invoice column. That's under the little gear, and you're going to go ahead and find the invoice number. It might be hidden like this. If so, move it to your visible columns and then move it up so that you're able to see that invoice number. There's a lot of different columns I have here. I'll go into more depth in some other videos, but really invoice number is the one that we're looking at today. The other one that I want to look at is this on hand. I'm going to show you how to clean out the items that do not have any stock on hand today, and we'll do another video later to clear out the ones that actually do have a positive quantity. So first up, I want to be able to see all my items that have been invoiced and have no quantity on hand. I'm going to do that by building a new view. So I'll go to View, and I've already built it, but we'll look at it again. I'm going to call this Invoiced No Quantity on Hand. What that looks like is you want your invoice number to not be blank. So by that, I'm just selecting the view editor and putting some information in there. And then I want the on-hand quantity to equal to 0. This is what the view is going to look like. I like to share my views with everyone. It's up to you. Maybe just keep them to yourself for now as you're testing them and getting more comfortable. When you add logic, you're going to add that plus sign to your views. If you need to go back and edit a line, you can do so by selecting the line and making changes to your views. Once I've created a view, I like to hit run while I'm still in the view and see if it makes any changes in the back end. If it seems to be working, then I save it. And now I'm looking at everything that has an invoice number and no quantity on hand. Perfect. So I'm going to do one project at a time, especially starting out. I don't recommend just selecting all of these and doing a bulk action. I'm going to go with the new project and clean some of these out. Maybe this is from a long time ago and all of the products were found, but they weren't procured effectively through the system. So we need to get these out of purchasing approvals so I can start using my purchasing screen. I'm going to select these items and approve them. If you're just getting started, I highly recommend taking a screenshot of those products so you can reference them later. So take a screenshot with the quantity, the SKU, everything like that, just so you have it as a reference in another screen. I'm going to approve these products. And when I do, they're going to disappear from the purchasing approvals screen. Step 1, done. We've cleaned them out of the purchasing approvals screen. Now they're going to be in my purchasing screen. And this is why I wanted to select products that didn't have a quantity on hand. If there was a quantity on hand, those products would not show up here. So I would approve them for purchasing, and then they would go to the pick and ship screen. I wouldn't see them to be purchased unless they were marked as special order. Because I did that filter first, I'm only seeing the products that absolutely need to be purchased. So I'm going to look at my new project again, and I'll ignore that one. It's just the same name, but I'm going to look at these 4 SKUs and look at my items and make sure they match. So they do. Next up, I'm going to create a dummy purchase order, a fake purchase order to get rid of these items from my purchasing screen. I understand that I don't want to update anything as it relates to accounting. I don't want to change anything with inventory. I really just want to clear these out so I never have to see them again. So I'm going to go and select the items I want to clear out, go to Actions, and create purchase order. I highly recommend when you use the vendor, don't use a real vendor, put a test company vendor or have a company that you know is sort of your dummy company for a vendor because you want to be able to very easily identify this company later. So you can even create a company just for PO cleanup, you can call it purchasing cleanup, whatever you want, and you'll see why you want to know who they are. So now we'll hit OK. I have now cleaned my items out of the purchasing screen. So we're getting closer and closer to the place where these items are no longer going to be kicking around in our system. With this purchase order, I'm going to go to the product tab and I'm going to go ahead and receive all these items. Those are all off of a project. If they're not off of a project, it's a little different, but we knew they were from a project because we searched by a project at the very beginning. Now the purchase order is closed. So PO number 20, closed. All those products have been received. If we go back into purchasing, those items are gone and almost everything is done. We've done almost everything we need to do as it relates to purchasing. But the last thing we want to make sure is that this does not go to accounting. We don't want this old information coming up to bite us. So we're going to go into the accounting interface, and that's going to be under Finance Accounting Interface. Under the accounting interface, you'll go to Unposted Procurement, and I want you to look up that vendor name. So this is why the vendor name is so important because I can filter here by everything with that vendor name. And I can see my PO number 20 packing slip right here. I'm going to select this and go to Actions, Remove Records. Your accounting interface is what talks to your accounting package. To make sure that this does not get batched to your accounting package, I'm going to remove this record, enter the batch ID, we'll call it PO cleanup, and then the date, and save. And it's too long. There we go. So now it's gone. The items are gone from the purchasing approval screen because we approved them. They're gone from the purchasing screen because we did purchase them retroactively. They are not in the accounting interface because we removed the record from the accounting interface. The last place that we do need to take a look at is the shipping screen, which I will cover in another video. So go ahead, like and subscribe. I'll be posting lots of videos on how to clean up everything else in your purchasing approval screen, including items that do have a quantity on hand or maybe aren't on a project. And we'll go from there. Drop any questions in the chat as well.